Hey everyone, it's Alec. I recently saw the movie Interstellar, and one thing I wanted to point out is, after I saw the movie, I looked it up on YouTube to see, how accurate the physics was in the movie, because I kept hearing from reviewers that it is the most scientifically accurate movie that has ever been released in human history. One of the things that I heard is nobody has ever, in any movie or even scientists today, have never actually been able to simulate what an actual wormhole or a black hole would look like. So I was thinking, hey, when I saw the movie and I saw what a wormhole looked like, it looks almost exactly what a wormhole looks like in EVE Online. And a black hole, not so much, because there's different variants and different types of what black holes look like in EVE Online when you enter wormhole space. But I was like, hey, that looks just like a wormhole in the video game EVE Online, which as of right now, there's a tint to it because there was a recent change that actually go from more realistic to looking more like, hey, there's a tint to it because they want to make it easier to identify different classes of wormhole space. So pretend there's no like tint there, and this is what it would look like. It would look like just like the movie Interstellar. And for those of you who don't know, Interstellar had a scientist that actually took what the equations of Einstein's relativity equations say that wormholes should exist, and he took their equations and tried to simulate how light would react to it to see what it would visually look like. And he did the same for black holes. And for black holes, there's more of a bigger deal because nobody's ever seen a black hole before, but we know where they are and how they exist. Well, I guess people have seen a black hole before in science, but they haven't actually. There's one thing that they found out is light actually does surround it more so it defines it a little more. And in these simulators, they actually came with us while making this $200 million budget movie. They actually had a scientific breakthrough with black holes, but I heard that they did the same. They had a scientific breakthrough with wormholes, and I was like, hey, EVE Online did it first. So I guess maybe I could be wrong, but ever since they released wormholes in EVE Online, it's always looked exactly how just around the same thing, like a chrome ball, a chrome sphere, and it's the way they describe it in the film is exactly how it's always been with EVE Online, and that's something that you can attribute to EVE Online as simulating what a wormhole would actually look like in real life. So that's one thing that kind of jogged my memory and made me think about a lot, because wormholes have been around in EVE Online since I believe 2010, since they first created them. And as you can see, light passing through it. It's one reason why in real life, if they do exist in real life, which theoretically they should exist, but it's very hard to detect because light passes through it, as such. And anyway, this is what they would look like if, according to a bunch of equations and science and simulators, in accordance with the Interstellar movie, where they had a $200 million budget, which is way more than obviously what EVE, what CCP has or any other organization. So that's something that they had a luxury with, rather than there is being able to create an accurate simulator on what it would look like. And it looks a lot like wormholes in EVE Online. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That by the way, Interstellar, great movie. If you play EVE Online and you're watching this video, you should definitely see the movie Interstellar. Even if you're not into sci-fis, like for example, any of you guys who have girlfriends that are not into sci-fi games or movies, bring them along anyway, because this is a movie that they would absolutely love to watch, and they would be shocked at how many moments that they would actually be affected by the movie, by the film. I don't want to give away anything, so trying to be vague as possible, but yeah, they added a lot of the human factor into the movie, which throws around a lot of emotions and makes you identify a lot with a character and his human factor. So anyway, great film. I highly suggest watching it, and just want to point out that if you really want to get a good wormhole simulator in terms of how it looks or should look or possibly would look in a simulator, this is the game to play. Just admire its beauty, and there's 6 different classes of wormholes in EVE Online, and each has its own tint to it, which is a fairly recent change. So you can be able to identify where you're going visually instead of just clicking on it and hitting info to see what it says and where it leads to. Unknown parts of space, meaning it leads into more wormhole space instead of high sec, low sec, or null sec. And the tint tells you, I can't remember, I believe this is a class 1 maybe, I could be wrong, but it's been a while. I haven't actually entered wormholes since they've added this change, this color tint, to be able to determine what class wormhole you're about to enter to. But I just want to throw it out there and add this video. And let me know if I'm wrong, which honestly I don't think I am at all. I have a feeling that EVE Online was the first real simulator that Interstellar had actually taken credit from CCP when it comes to creating an actual wormhole visualization. So once again, I could be wrong. I actually tried looking up research on it, see what a wormhole would look like, and as far back as I can tell, EVE Online did it first. Before I end this video, I just wanted to point out the wormholes in EVE Online. You saw in the video, for those of you who can distinguish the color well enough, it kind of looked like a light blue, maybe a cyan type of color in the wormhole that I actually scanned down because of its wormhole class, its classification. That's why it was that color. But if you were beforehand, before EVE Online before CCP decided to make the changes to be able to distinguish them more based upon color, it actually just looked like a chrome sphere just hovering in space with the space around it warped, because of course wormholes have gravity. That's why in Interstellar they were able to orbit the wormhole, because you can't really orbit something without gravity. And anyway, so I just want to throw it out there. And in terms of black holes, I did a lot of research into this. And black holes, of course, we've known have existed, and recently, before Interstellar, black holes have actually been they've been actually observed, and not like you can't really, of course, observe a black hole because it's just pitch black, not even light can escape it. But the the black holes themselves were observed feasting on a star within the center of our own galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. That's how we really confirmed it. And the way science works is you have all these theories, and you can observe as much as you want, and have all these theories and observe things around, like for example a black hole, and have these theories. But you can't really actually prove the theory unless you have something like, say, a recording, as you can find on YouTube or anywhere on the internet, a recording of a black hole actually feasting or gobbling up a star near the center. So that's how science works. Even though everyone was pretty sure at the time that black holes existed, ever since Stephen Hawking's theorized them and pretty much was was sure that they existed, it wasn't really technically accepted. It didn't go from theory to acceptance until we've observed it through a telescope. So we observed it feasting on something. So the same goes with wormholes. According to the mathematics derived from E equals mc squared, Einstein's theory of relativity. According to that, and according to Einstein himself, wormholes should exist. I'm not saying wormholes could. He didn't say wormholes could exist. He's saying they should exist. So he was pretty damn specific. Excuse my language there for those of you who care, but he was really adamant about the existence of wormholes. So and the math proves it. I'm not gonna go over math or anything. I tried looking it up and seeing if I could understand it. I'm still working on it. I was a law major, so please excuse any you know misunderstandings of science because I'm actually very fascinated with science, even though I was a law major and math wasn't of course, my focus. But I find science very fascinating, and I spend countless hours researching it. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And for those of you interested, do your own research. It's actually very self-fulfilling when you do research, your own type of research. And if you can't figure something out, you could always go on YouTube and look up videos, see explanations, especially one from the director of the planetarium in New York, the Hayden Planetarium, which is Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is a very popular lobbyist for astronomy, for quantum physics, for astronomy in general, for the study of the stars. So anyway, that's just something I wanted to, a little bit of a disclaimer I wanted to add towards the end of my video. So I highly recommend once again watching the movie Interstellar. It was very powerful. If you're not into sci-fi or in the science behind things, you would be able to identify with the human factor and the situation that the characters in the movie are in at that point in time, because most scientists believe that is inevitable, that we will get to that point in time where we will have to make a decision to leave this planet. So leave a comment and like the video. Leave a comment if you actually have something to educate me on or something to add to anything I talked about in this video. And just please like, subscribe. If not, then do yourself a favor and actually look up or watch the movie Interstellar and look up the physics behind it all. Also, I would like to mention that I will leave behind a link in the description for a trailer for the movie Interstellar, because it was that great of a movie. I normally wouldn't do that, but I actually very much enjoyed it, and it was well worth the watch. Also, I'm adding the credits, the credibility to the song that I played in the background, which is actually from the soundtrack to the movie Interstellar. Thanks again for watching, and this is Alec Ray. Take care.